the Supreme Court here is saying that the government's explanation for why it put the question on the census form was invalid. Now, remember, this was the essence of the case against the government here. The Commerce Secretary, Wilbur Ross, had testified before Congress and said in court that he decided to put the question on the census form after receiving a letter from the Justice Department in which the Justice Department said it needed this data on citizenship in order to better enforce the Voting Rights Act. The opponents of this, which is about 18 states, disagreed with that argument, and they said that the real motivation here was an attempt to that Ross himself wanted this, that he told the Justice Department to send him that letter, that was all a pretext. And then at the last minute, you may recall, there was this new information that was raised by opponents who said that the whole idea for this came from a Republican consultant, a longtime Republican consultant in an unpublished paper, that if you had this granular data on citizenship, you could better engineer districts to the advantage of Republicans. So the interesting thing here is that the Chief Justice, John Roberts, joins the court's 4 liberals in this decision. So it is a 5-4 ruling, but it's not along the usual partisan lines. The Chief Justice joins with the court's 4 liberals. So this question is, at this point, the government does not have authority to put this question on the census form. Now, I have to say one other thing. There is still some litigation pending in Maryland, but that seems to be going against the government, too. So the Trump administration may well try to take another run at this, but I would think that with this decision, that's pretty well foreclosed. This is a defeat for the Trump administration. Remember, last term, a couple of terms ago, the Supreme Court gave a victory to the Trump administration over the travel ban, even though what was eventually ruled on was in a very different form than first proposed. Now, today, the court has dealt a defeat to the Trump administration. They will not be able to add this census question, the citizenship question on the census, which was important to these states for 2 reasons. Number one, the census, recall, in the Constitution is an enumeration of everybody, not just citizens, total population. And that data is used to decide how big congressional districts are, how many congressional districts the states get, and secondly, how much money they get from federal programs. So this is a big victory for those states, primarily Democratic states led by New York, that challenged this government decision, and also immigrant rights groups, that this question will not be on the census form. And the government had said if they didn't have a decision by the end of June, they wouldn't be able to print the forms. They had to get them to the printers. Now they have their decision.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.